What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work our way up through the Codemasters games and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. We are currently in the 2010 season. This is round 3, Malaysia, and if you have missed any of the previous episodes of F1 2010 and of course the season of F1 2009, go check it out with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. You'll find the previous episode and of course the whole entire playlist as well. But before we get into today's episode, let's take a look at the standings. And at the moment, we are sitting in P6. And now you might think that is a comfortable position for us. That's really, really good in this Sauber team. But we need to get to P4 or above if we want to drive either Williams or Force India. Of course, those are the two best teams options that we get for F1 2011. So we need to get into the top 4. Failing to do that, and if we manage to score between 5th and 10th position, then we're going to get a drive for Lotus next season. That's where we currently are. So we're currently in a Lotus seat for F1 2011. So we do need to kind of step it up just a little bit. Try and get a good result here in Malaysia if we want to try and get into that either Williams seat 3rd and 4th or the Force India, which is 1st and 2nd. But here it is, the Malaysian Grand Prix. What can we do this weekend as we head over to the Malaysian Grand Prix? Here we go then. One shot qualifying for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's see how we can do. We finally unlocked the fast engine mode. We did jump into practice. We did one lap in the R&D test, and we've managed to unlock the fast mix for the fuel map setting. Not a good start to the lap though. That was very, very deep down in towards turn 1, but hopefully we can pick it up as the rest of the lap goes on. Again, running it deep into corners. Really, really struggling at the moment with these corners on this game. Come on, Hayden. Come on, we can do this. Let's not mess this up. We can set a good lap time here. We want to get higher than 18th position, which is the best. We've again running it wide. I just can't slow down for these corners, even with one lap of practice. What on earth is going on with me? Chandok, please get out of the way. Please get out of the way, mate. Do not be on the apex of this corner, because I will kill you. Thank you. Right, so one of the most trickiest or hardest corners on Formula 1, and I muck it up. I run it too deep, just like I've done with every single corner on this lap. This is not going to be a good qualifying session. I can honestly admit that I'm probably going to be right down at the back of the field. Let's see if we can at least get the final corner right. Okay, we've managed to at least hit the apex on that one, but I don't think it's going to be good enough for P18 in this qualifying session. As we come across the line. Okay, well, okay, actually, I'll take that. P17, was not expecting that. Was expecting to be right down the back of the field. I beat my own teammate as well, so maybe it's just the Saubers. The Saubers just aren't good around this circuit, as Kamiko actually way down in P23, but 17th place, I'll take that. I will actually take that at the end of the day. That's not too bad. I thought I was going to be right down the back of the field. Yes, there is definitely a lot of time to find around this circuit. And I reckon I can break into the top 10 once again and get another points scoring finish here today, but we're just going to have to sort of wait and see how this race goes. I'm not too sure where we're going to finish. We're just going to have to wait and see. But Alonso is in pole position with Massa in 2nd, 1-2 for Ferrari here today. Lewis Hamilton 3rd, Webber in 4th, then Button 5th, and Sebastian Vettel in 6th, with Robert Kubica actually getting quite close to those guys as well. But then it's a bit of a drop back to Petrov, Sutil, and Nico Rosberg. But the question is, though, what can we do from 17th on the grid at the Malaysian Grand Prix? Let's find out. It's race day here at the Malaysian Grand Prix, and it's a Ferrari 1-2 here today. Alonso 1st, Massa in 2nd. There's myself out qualifying my teammate for the first time this season, P17, with Kamui Kobayashi only managing to get down in P23 here today, as the Sauber team wants another points finish out to me here today. The lights are coming on for the Malaysian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good start there compared to Jaime Alguersuari on the right-hand side. Going to straight away move over to the right-hand side and try and get the inside line. Jaime Alguersuari looking like he's trying to do the same thing. Going to brake late, pick the gap up the inside. Oh, I've knocked into the Williams just a tad there. Buemi having a great start, as what on earth is that Force India doing, going very wide on the start. And we've managed to gain 2 positions. 2 positions off the start. I would take that. That is a good start. Gaining 2 positions. Right, how many can we gain down in towards the next couple of corners? Have a little look up the inside on Nico Hulkenberg, and maybe on, was that Force India? Yes, it was Adrian Sittel getting past him and moving up into P13. Buemi is up next. Not a good initial line in towards this corner, but we'll see what we can do through the second part with Sebastian Buemi just ahead of us in P12. We're on the edge of the points at the moment, but of course, point is the goal here today, as it is with every race. As now we go up the inside of Buemi, force him out wide, but he's still on the tarmac. He's still on the black stuff on my left-hand side, going down into the hairpin. Oh my god, Luizzi, where are you going to go? We're going to go around the outside of Luizzi. And there we go, moving up into P11, right to the edge of the points now. So what a start. That is P17 up into what is now the points from the start. So, okay, maybe not the points anymore, as Nico Rosberg gets the better of me. But going down towards this corner, I'm going to back out of that. There's no point going side by side through there, as it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, so I'm going to go on the brakes into this next corner, try and have a little look up the inside on Nico Rosberg. Can we get a better exit than him? No, we can't. But let's put it up into Rich Mix. Let's put it up into Rich Mix. Not into Standard, into Rich Mix. And let's see what we can do on Nico Rosberg. Because I think actually on this game, there isn't really any issue with fuel. You don't actually have to fuel save in this game. So I can put it into Rich Mix for the whole entire race. And it's not going to be an issue in terms of fuel load. So let's see how that develops over the rest of the race. But at the moment, P11 for the first lap. That is crazy. That is a crazy start to this race. But let's see what we can do on Nico Rosberg. So I have another driver having a little look up my inside there. We've got McLaren going side by side with somebody else. So let's see what goes on between those two. I mean, if they can hold each other up, that's good news for me, because that means I managed to hold on to the back of these guys. Because the leaders, they've sort of shot off a little bit. They're definitely quicker than me in this race. I'm going to have a little look now around the outside of Nico Rosberg through this corner. Hamilton's facing the wrong way. What on earth is going on there with Lewis Hamilton? He's facing the wrong way. The yellow flag's out, so I can't actually overtake Jenson Button there. I was hoping it would go to green a little bit earlier, so I can actually go for the overtake. Then I've run it wide. That allows Nico Rosberg to come back at me side by side between the two of us. He's got the right-hand side. I'm on the left, but we've got the job done, and I'm going to squeeze him out. And there we go, moving up into P9. Jenson Button is up next. We managed to gain 2 positions in the space of that one corner there, as Lewis Hamilton's facing the wrong way. I've overtaken Jenson Button as well. Very, very nice on the brakes, down in towards that corner, and moving up into P8 now. Rubens Barrichello, he is up next in the Williams. So good job so far from Rubens Barrichello to hold himself up into P7 at the moment. I can see all the leaders around the trickiest corner on the F1 calendar, which I've actually taken very nicely there. That was actually a really, really good line through there. Is Rubens Barrichello coming into the pits? Yes, he is. Rubens Barrichello into the pit lane. The AI, for some reason, as soon as they get into that pit lane, or as soon as it takes you over, you can just fly into that pit lane. So we've moved up now into P7 for this Malaysian Grand Prix, which is really, really good at the moment. I'm very happy with that. Of course, you know, I'd love to get some more positions. I'm not going to force it, but if I can get some more positions in this race, then that would be truly incredible. As Button had a little look up the inside there, but wasn't able to pull it off. Oh, overshooting that corner. Didn't exactly have the grip that I thought I had going into that corner. And unfortunately, that's allowed Jenson Button to come back through. I do not like that at all. I do not like losing positions, especially when I make mistakes. Making more mistakes now as I've run it a little bit too wide. Okay, tyre wear starting to become a little bit of an issue, but a nice line from myself through there, and that should allow me to get that position back off Jenson Button. Here we go, under braking into the hairpin. Gonna run it a little bit out wide. Oh my god, wow. Grip has definitely fallen off these tyres now, because earlier on in the race I could brake at that same point, get the job done on Jenson Button, it not be a problem. And now, look at it, he's coming straight back at me. Jenson Button on the right-hand side. Is he going to hold it around the outside? He's going to hold it side by side between the two of us. I gave up on that move earlier on in the race up against Nico Rosberg, because I just thought there was no point. And Jenson Button still going wheel to wheel with myself. We're not coming into the pits on this lap. Button might be, though, so we do have to be aware of the McLaren driver doing that. Going to brake. Oh, my God. braking so much later than Jenson Button through there. And once again, he's just got the better of me on the left-hand side. But it's still side by side between the two of us. Nothing separating myself and Jenson Button throughout this lap. But once again, tucking into that slipstream momentarily to have a look up the inside, down towards turn 1. Here we go on Jenson Button up the inside. Can we get the job done this time around? No, we can't. He's still there. Jenson Button still side by side with myself, and now we've got caught on each other. Get off me. Oh my god, we were literally inside of each other then for a moment there. I mean, I love Jenson Button, but I'm not too sure whether I actually love him that much to get right up behind him. But Jenson Button moves up into P6. I'm still in P7 after a driver came into the pits there, but I feel like now catching up to Jenson Button's going to be a very, very difficult task. Oh, around the outside, Jenson Button once again, though, into the hairpin. Oh, a little bit of a tap between the two of us. And again, we are going side by side through this corner. What on earth is happening in this race? Me and Button just cannot be separated, but finally getting the better of the McLaren driver. He had a little look there up the inside. Even I had to lift off with the amount of tyre wear that I've got on my car right now. The tyres are orange, so it's definitely time to come into the pits on this lap. We've managed to shake off Jenson Button just a little bit as we've moved up into our favourite position of P6 now. But here we go, coming into the pits for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Of course, we don't have to brake as early as we usually do, but getting taken over by the team now. Obviously, not as quick as the other guys, putting our limiter on a little bit too early there, but now into the pits for this Malaysian Grand Prix. Need to pick out our pit crew, because again, we don't want to overshoot the mark. Slam on the brakes now as we come into the pits. And that should be okay. Yes, it is. Right, what is the pit stop time going to be from the team? Unfortunately, Jenson Button looks like he's going to get the better of us, as there are other teams coming into the pits. 8.1 seconds. Not a good pit stop there. Where are the other guys? Unfortunately, getting jumped by Jenson Button. Not too sure about the other guys, but Jenson Button definitely getting the better of me, unfortunately. That means we've dropped down into P18. We're going to have to do that all over again if we want to move up into the top half of the field once more, but ahead of Leutzi, who is in P19, and my teammate of Kamui Kobayashi. That is a terrible line there from Nico Rosberg. I do not know what he was doing through that corner, but that was an absolutely terrible line. It's like he just wants to give me the position, which I think he's trying to do. Nico Rosberg, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you going so slowly? Please do not hold me up like that again. I want to get past, but I want to get past cleanly and fairly. Okay, here we go, round the outside. Well, very much around the outside. I've gone to the gravel. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay, we need to sort of reevaluate my overtaking abilities, because that was a little bit too aggressive. Come on, Rosberg, just let me through. You know you're not quicker than me anyway. You might as well just let me through, buddy, as there's a driver into the pits there on the right-hand side. That's going to put me up into a few more positions, as I think there's a few back marks as well coming into the pits. There's a drive on the right-hand side. Don't know who that is. It's Nico Hulkenberg, as I'm maybe going to have a look up the inside of Rosberg into turn 2. Couldn't quite get the job done through there. So Rosberg, for now, still manages to hold on to P13. Nico Hulkenberg has even got the better of us here today. Still not quite into the points for this Malaysian Grand Prix. That, of course, is going to be my goal, to try and get into the points. But once again, going around the outside of Nico Rosberg through that corner. This time, pulling it off without a Lewis Hamilton facing the wrong way to upset us there. But there we go. Job done. Nico Hulkenberg, he is up next. Let's see what we can do through the next couple of corners, whether he does a Nico Rosberg or not, where he just sits through this next corner. Here we go, round the outside of Nico Hulkenberg. What a move that was. Even though I just attacked that apex, I prayed that Hulkenberg would not still be on the inside of that corner. Luckily, he was not. We got the job done. We've moved up into P12. Up next is Michael Schumacher, though. A few more drivers just coming into the pits there, so that's moved me up now into P10 for this Malaysian Grand Prix. So I'm up into the points once more, which is good news, but I do need to make sure I stay here. So no mistakes for these final 4 laps of the Malaysian Grand Prix. We're also trying to see whether we can overtake Michael Schumacher or not. He's currently just ahead of us on the road in P9, but we're not really doing a good job at the moment of trying to catch up to him. Just look there, running it wide through that corner. So we need to sort of snuff out those mistakes and try and get him over the next couple of laps. Couple more drivers into the pits at the moment. So that should push me up into P7. No, actually only puts me up into P8 at the moment, because I'm not too sure who they were, but we are up into P8 now for today's race. So I'm guessing one of them must have been a back marker. No, oh my god, that was not what I wanted to do. I don't know whether you saw that. That twitch was massive. Very, very lucky to catch it through there. But that could have easily resulted in a spin, meaning that I would have finished outside the points here today. But I need to do all that hard work once again if I want to try and get past Michael Schumacher, making too many mistakes right now. And that's allowing Nico Hülkenberg to be right on my tail. Oh, we've got another driver coming into the pits. Is that Michael Schumacher? Is that Michael Schumacher into the pits here on lap 8? That is a 2-stopper that Schumacher's going for. Vettel's in the pits as well. How are we doing this? We're up into P6 again. What on earth is going on? It just looks like we don't want to finish anywhere else than P6 because we're doing it again somehow. We are in P6 at the moment for the Malaysian Grand Prix. What on earth is going on? Three P6s in a row. What is going on right now? This is just too much to be weird, and it looks like I'm trying to stop that from happening as I've made a massive mistake through that corner. Luckily, I managed to get a bit of a gap there to Nico Hülkenberg to make sure that he didn't actually capitalise on that and go for the overtake, but I need to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Here we go then, final lap now of the Malaysian Grand Prix. We've got a nice comfortable lead at the moment compared to Nico Hülkenberg, about 2 seconds, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch up to Jenson Button either. So this is just going to be a case of bringing the car home. No real pressures from anybody else. No pressure to catch up to the guy ahead of us, and no pressure to hold off the guy behind because there's 2 seconds. Unless we make a mistake on this lap, which I don't think we're going to do so, but let's just make sure we bring this car home. Felipe Massa wins the Malaysian Grand Prix after starting P2 here today. What a result that is for the Ferrari man. Of course, we were quite close to him in the Drivers' Championship going into today's race. That is no longer the case after he gets a race win here today. It looks like we're going to come home, though, for a fantastic P6. Unfortunately, Jenson Button does get the better of us, but we have overtaken Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship, definitely. But nevertheless, and another P6 here today. That's 3 in a row for us in F1 2010. P6 looks like it is going to be our usual spot. Can we do any better later on in the season? And once again, Jeff is very happy with that result. Of course, he's going to be very happy. It was a very, very good result today. Look at the result, though, for Renault. Wow! 3rd and 4th for the Renault team. 1st and 2nd for Ferrari. So not a good day for the Red Bulls. And not a good day for the McLarens either. But Massa, he is the race winner with Alonso in 2nd. There's Vitaly Petrov who gets onto the podium here today. Robert Kubica just misses out with P4, and Jenson Button finishes P5 here today. Myself in 6th, once again getting 8 points to my name. Nico Hülkenberg finishing in 7th with Mark Webber 8th, and Sebastian Vettel 9th, with Nico Rosberg getting the final championship point here today. Lewis Hamilton missing out on points, finishing way down in P12. Any other surprises? Of course, there was Michael Schumacher who made that 2nd pit stop. And he, unfortunately, is way down in P16. Kamui Kobayashi could only manage P19 after starting 23rd here today. So not a good day from him at all. But let's have a look now how this affects the Drivers' Championship. Still, we are in P6, though. We are still somehow 6th in the Drivers' Championship. We've overtaken Lewis Hamilton, but then we've also been overtaken by, I think it is Felipe Massa or Jenson Button. Or no, it's Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso has overtaken us in the Drivers' Championship. So what does it take to get into the top half of the field? Well, it's going to take more than P6. That's what we need to do in this season. Jenson Button 2 points ahead of us at the moment. So that is our goal. To try and catch up to Jenson Button, overtake him, then look at the next driver, then the next driver. But ultimately, we want to get P4 or above. That is the goal for us this season. Mark Webber, though, leading the way by 10 points over Felipe Massa. Right, Constructors' Championship, BMW Sauber still in P5 at the moment. And we are now, how many points behind Renault? 9 points behind Renault? Yeah, 9 points behind the Renault team. So a good day from Renault. After overtaking Force India in the Constructors' Championship, Renault have overtaken us after getting that fantastic 3-4 for those guys. So that is the goal now in the Constructors' Championship. Overtake Renault. Let's see if we can do it at the next race, which I think is in China. So hopefully we can do it there. But that is it for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. Okay then, a little bit disappointing. Once again, no interviews after today's race. I mean, isn't that the only reason why we play F1 2010? Because you get interviews on this game? Anyway, let's have a look at the standings once more before we end today's episode. Still in P6, still in P6. So far this season, we've only been P6 in the Drivers' Championship. Hopefully that changes for the better as we go through these races. Up next, though, is, of course, the Chinese Grand Prix. So hopefully we can maybe move into P5 or possibly even into a Williams seat for next season. But that is it for today's race. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula 1 content. We've got Rags to Riches free, F1 2017 career mode, and also a whole load of other F1 related content on this channel as well. And as always, don't forget to leave your comments in the section below. What did you guys think of today's race? I want to hear your thoughts. So that is it for the Malaysian Grand Prix. I will see you guys next time in China, but until then, it's goodbye from me.